If you're struggling with sleep and nothing you've tried has helped, there's a good chance that something important is being missed, especially if you struggle with hormonal issues like PCOS, cycle changes, or if you're going through menopause. Hi, I'm Dr. Evelyn, your naturopathic doctor and traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. I work with women who have done everything right when it comes to health, hormones, and sleep, but they're still stuck. By the end of this video, I want you to understand why some sleep issues don't respond to typical advice and where you can look instead if this is your case. I'm going to walk you through a case study and then zoom out so you can see what is actually happening. I saw a client recently who came in primarily for sleep issues. She had trouble falling asleep most nights, and when she did fall asleep, it was light and easily disrupted. She hadn't slept for more than 4 hours in many years. She had worked with sleep coaches, taken supplements with no real results. Seemingly unrelated, she was also having panic-like sensations after meals, racing heart, chest tightness, and a sudden feeling of alarm. And she often woke up with a burning sensation in her throat in the morning, but hadn't connected that to her sleep. From her perspective, she had two different problems: sleep issues on one hand and digestive on the other. What became clear over time was that these were not separate issues. They were part of the same pattern, just manifesting in different ways. At first glance, this may seem like a timing issue. Maybe she was eating too late or the meals were too heavy at night. But the issue really wasn't the timing. She was having digestive issues that were not resolving even hours after the meal. On days where her food sat longer in the stomach or the digestion felt slow, her body stayed alert long after dinner. That alertness showed up in a racing heart, chest tightness, and panic-like sensations. Undigested food increases the pressure in the upper digestive tract, and that pressure can irritate the vagus nerve. That's the same nerve that's involved in heart rate, breathing, and anxiety. The body wasn't panicking because of some anxious thought. It was responding to this internal pressure of unresolved digestion. So this wasn't just a sleep problem, it was digestion, nervous system, and sleep all interacting at the same time. When we look at these things individually, things sometimes don't make sense. And then when you connect them, you start to see the pattern. When symptoms don't make sense, it's usually because you're looking at them one at a time. But if you put all the clues together, you can usually follow the trail to the root cause. Like my client, whose digestive symptoms were quietly driving her insomnia, even though in the surface they looked unrelated. If you zoom into one piece, the bigger picture stays blurry. And that's usually where people get stuck. They try to solve the loudest problem instead of following where it's connected to. When you start tracing connections instead of isolating problems, the body starts to make more sense. When symptoms don't respond to the usual advice, it's rarely because the body is broken. It's usually because something is being missed. The body's always responding to things like digestion, timing, light, food, stress. And when you stop treating symptoms like isolated problems and start putting all the clues together, things usually make more sense. If this way of looking at the body resonated with you and you want support learning how to trace its connections without forcing or extremes, come hang out in my free community where we explore these topics in a practical way. The link is below.